FML with Fook and Mishell. Excited to have Katie Weinner sitting right next to us, who is the chef owner of SLC Pop and contestant on Top Chef Season 12 in Boston. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
I think we screwed up when we Anthony'd your last name. It's
yes.
German?
German. I believe it's Wiener, but Wiener has been my nickname since high school. Unfortunately, my poor mother has had to deal with it. I always thought it was kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you just decide to roll with the punches, and I just embraced it early on, but luckily kind of got away from that, and I think Kate's the new one, so that's pretty exciing growing up.
His name is Fook, and I am frequently called Miss Hell, so both of us are made fun of for our names as well.
You can empathize.
Yes.
Now, SLC Pop, because I was looking to, before you were coming in on the interview, I said, maybe I should eat at the restaurant and then tell everybody how fancy I was. But this is not a brick and mortar place that we can go to. We have to sort of like ask you if you will cook us dinner and then make some sort of reservations, and you'll come over to our house?
Exactly. It's a very flexible business. It's one of those cool things where you want me to come to your house and cook for you and your friends, I'll do it. If you want me to find you a location, say a cool warehouse or a space that's not being used, we can set it up and kind of give you a pop-up your own restaurant for the night. Or we kind of give it out to anyone. Let's say there's just two of you and you want to come eat with us for the night. We'll grab a location. Like in a couple of weeks, we're going to do the Red Moose. You buy tickets, make a reservation, and then come on in and have an eclectic dinner party.
But I mean, how unique is that to where you sort of get to choose your own setting if you want to? Like, you know, who wouldn't love to have a gourmet dinner at their own house? Like, do you get this where some people will be like, all right, come on over to the house, and you show up and they're all dressed in aluminum foil?
No, luckily that hasn't happened yet. But wow, that's a great idea.
Hey, we're all naked. Why isn't Katie naked?
Usually people are pretty conservative, and I think, you know, it's kind of neat because I think the most eclectic part of the night is the food, not usually the clients. They're usually pretty down-to-earth, pretty cool people. But, you know, we might end up bringing kangaroo or rattlesnake, and we usually end up surprising the guests versus them surprising us.
Oh, right on.
It sounds fun that you get to like travel all over the place to these different places, but it also sounds like it could be annoying and difficult because you have to travel to these different places.
Exactly. You know, you get all excited and you're like, well, maybe this week we'll do 20 people, but then you realize you have to bring, you know, 8 different courses, 20 dishes of each of those courses, and all of a sudden you're carting literally a restaurant in your car for a 2-hour service. So it gets difficult.
And how would you describe yourself as a chef? I'm taking a wild stab, just reading a little bit of your history, and just from the first episode of Top Chef, that are you what they call a molecular gastronomerist?
No, I'm just a nerdy chef that likes to experiment in all kinds of different areas. You know, I've made stuff from, you know, like a Sri Lankan curry to, I mean, look at broccoli salad. It's funny how I like to just take food from anywhere and just kind of jazz it up or kind of recreate something simple. It doesn't mean that I'm, you know, cooking with glues and funny chemicals. It just means that I like to have fun with food and I just present things differently. That's all.
And so the current season of Top Chef already been taped, and the first episode has already aired. And you made the broccoli salad in the elimination challenge, much to great outcry.
Oh gosh, who would have thought a salad could have so much? I don't know. What would you call it? Like drama?
There was a lot of controversy for this broccoli salad.
The controversial, you know, broccoli salad. It's like, is there not enough going on in our world that we have to worry about the broccoli salad?
I think I actually saw the controversial broccoli salad open up for the string cheese incident once. Great, excellent band.
I should have copyrighted the name.
Really,
I mean,
very jammy. But so yeah, what was the deal with that? Is that people on the show thought that it was not fancy enough for an entree?
Which is funny because, you know, the challenge was create a nostalgic dish. Bottom line, right? Nothing, there's no strings attached, I didn't think. So for me, it was kind of one of those like last minute decisions where I was like, I don't know. So this is what I'm going to do. Like, you just kind of have to commit to an idea. I mean, you're always on deadlines, timelines, stress galore.
Yeah.
So I just did it. I didn't really like think about if it was the 3 Michelin star dish. I just did the dish, and I did it pretty different than it originally was. So I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool, but never did I ever think it would get this much press. So
it was
funny.
Like after they showed you making it, then they had another contestant, and I forget his name, but this douche is like, yeah, I saw Katie making a broccoli salad, and I didn't think it was very cool. I mean, does she know she's on Top Chef? What was your reaction when you saw that?
You know, it's always funny not really knowing what people think about you, but, you know, at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I know that I'm a good chef. So obviously it's going to create some great hype for Top Chef, which gets people watching, which is good for all of us. So that's the good thing at the end of the day. I mean, that's what's great about someone insulting me, right? Is that it gets more viewers, it gets me more press, and people are going to think what they think about Aaron. And at the end of the day, people are still going to like me, and that's all I wanted, honestly.
And she also probably didn't know that he was saying those insulting things to her until the episode airs, and then you're like, oh, what? Why would he? Why would he say that about me?
So now that you've seen that based on your past interaction with him, does that make you look at him in a different light? Or are you like, oh, if there was somebody that was going to say that, it was that dude?
Most likely what you just said.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's funny, too, is that I heard it with like 25 of my buddies all around me watching the episode. So if anyone's going to insult me, that's the time to do it, because everyone around you has your back. Everyone's like, oh, come on, who's that guy? And you're like, yeah. You know.
Everyone's like, what? Throwing the drinks on the ground. What, is he here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool that, you know, if it was going to happen, at least it wasn't me drinking alone in my apartment and then being like, oh, man, you know, I suck.
You had a whole posse, a whole entourage around you.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, because you brought in one of the ingredients from the controversial broccoli salad, the bacon snow or powder, and you got another treat for us, and we want to eat some of this and talk to you a little bit more. Katie from Top Chef. We'll be right back right after this on FML.
You're listening to FML.